Last class we completed data types, literals, type conversion and typecasting. I mean, we completed data types, variables and objects. Okay. And we also got introduction to OOP basics, right? We got clarity on object oriented programming basics also we discussed. Now, from today, I want you understand, yeah, literals, type conversion, type promotions, character set. These topics we will quickly complete, and after this knowledge we will go for what you call operators, control flow statements. In operators and control flow statements we are going to discuss, we need literal knowledge, we need type conversion knowledge, we need typecasting knowledge, we need type promotion knowledge. Okay, so let me complete literals topic quickly and then we'll go for next topics. Okay, so this topic is a literal topic, is very simple, Bujji topic. Okay, these are the top points you have to learn. Literals, types of literals, Java 7 new features in literals. So tell me now, what is a literal and what the use of a literal? Types of literals, explanation on integer type literals, floating point type literals, character literals, Boolean literals, string literals, class literals and null literals. I no need to much explain about literals because you got sufficient knowledge in data types chapter. Just terminology changing, but the concept is same. Okay, let me start. Tell me, what is a literal? 10 is a literal. A constant value is a literal. 10.5 is a literal. Single quote is a literal. Double quote is a literal. Null is a literal. So literal is nothing but a constant value. Okay, what is a literal? A constant value is a literal. For example, 10, 10.0, single quote a, double quote a, true, null, etc. are called what? Literals. Okay, fine. Then how many different types of literal Java supports? Okay, before going to this point, let me also answer why literal. What the use of literal? Tell me, what the use of literal? Why literal? Why literal is required? Array, if you want to store, okay, for initializing variable, and next for performing calculation, validations and calculations, for performing validations and calculations. Okay, next to perform to perform to perform an operation, and next to pass argument to a method execution to execute its logic, and the next to return result from a method. Okay, in all these places what you required? Basically a value required, basically literal is required. So for initializing variable, why literal? For initializing variable, for performing validations and calculations, to perform an operation, to pass argument to a method to execute its logic, to return result from a method. If you want to perform any operation, we need values. As part of operation we are performing all these tasks, right? So now literal is required for initializing variable, for perform, for executing operators. Validation operators are there, calculation operators are there. Simply for executing operator, simply to execute a method with inputs, to return value result from a method, wherever value presence is there I require literal. Otherwise you cannot perform any operation. Okay, fine. What is a literal? Why literal? Understood. How many different types of literal Java supports? Java supports officially 6 types of literals, and I have added one more type of literal. You will come to know this literal in the coming future. Okay, it is also one kind of literal you can consider, but Sun Microsystem officially not mentioned it as a literals list. I don't know why, but you can also consider this is also literal. So if definitely interviewer will not ask this question, how many types of literal Java supports, but you should have some idea how many types of literal Java supports. 7 types of literal Java support. Okay, officially first 6 are the given by Sun Microsystem. So these are the 6 literals officially given by Sun Microsystem. And then this last literal, class type literal, it is, I have added in the list for our future to easy understanding purpose. Okay, fine. So integer literals, floating point literals, character literals, conditional literals, or you can say Boolean literals, string literals, null literal, class literal. Okay, now maybe some people may fight with me, not agree with me. Array, string dot class, how it can be a literal, Rabbi? It is a java dot lang dot class object. Okay, it is a java dot lang dot class object. Then what is double quote say? It is also an object, java dot lang dot string class object. So people who want ready to fight with me, then I want return fight with them. When you say double quote say is a literal, string dot class is also literal. Okay, right? You have created object double quotes without using new keyword. Here also you created object without using java.lang.class. So I don't know the reason why Sun Microsystem has missed it as a literal. Maybe some reason may be there, but for the time being, for our easy understanding purpose, I want to include it as literal. Clearly I'm telling, it is not included by Sun Microsystem, it is included by me for our understanding. So officially Java supports 6 types of literals under category. Okay, fine. Then now tell me, integer literals, what are they? 10, 20, 30. Floating point literal 20, 20.4, 30.5, right? And next, character literal, single quote a, single quote 1, single quote 8. Conditional literals are Boolean literals, true, false. String literals, double quotes a, double quotes a, b, anything you place in double quotes. Null literal, null. And character literal, look at their capital N literal, little is and small n. Okay, class literals, any class name you take are simple here. When you compile, you got a dot class file na. Either class you compile, interface you compile, abstract class you compile, any 6 types of classes you compile, background dot class file is created. That dot class file name is what? Literal. Is it clear? There's a lot of different explanation on student, I mean this dot class file syntax. I will explain you all the points. Okay, fine. So totally we have 7 types of literals. Observe, integer literal dot 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 I given, but Boolean literals I given true false, there is no dot dot. Why? Because only 2 are there. And next, string literal many, null literal only I given null. Okay, there is no dot 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 I have not given. Is it clear? Right. So now this is the basic idea about literal topic. Then now I want you understand each literal one by one clearly. Tell me, every literal has a default data type. Tell me, if you wanted to write, if you wanted to create a variable, or if you wanted to use a value, they should be type. If there is no type, you cannot use them in the program. A value and a variable must have type. So every literal has a default data type in Java. Every integer will be treated as a int type literal. Every integer will be treated as a int type literal. Sorry. Every integer value will be treated as a int type. In a program, if you use the value 10, means if you type value 10, compiler and JVM consider 10 as of type int. Already have proved, remember, by passing 10 as an argument to a method and by assigning 10 to Boolean data type, already told you. Next, if you want to treat any integer number as a long, we must suffix capital L, small l to this number. So 10 is of int type, 10l is of long type. If you want to treat any integer number as a byte or short, we must prefix cast operator. 10 is of type int, 10l is of type long. Tell me, 10 converted to byte, byte type. 10 converted to short, short type. I told you clearly, 10 is not a byte, 10 is int converted to byte. Short of 10, 10 is byte, 10 is int converted to short. All we discussed these points in the data type chapter clearly, right? So just some new points are there. Some points covered, some points, new points are there. Then next, every floating point number is treated as a double. 10.0 is of type double type. If you want to treat a floating point number as a float, we must suffix capital F or small f. 10.0 is of double type, 10.0 f is of float type. Float f1 equal to 10.0, it is a compile time error. Possible loss of precision, possible lossy conversion, right? 10.0 cannot be assigned to float. If you want to assign 10.0 to float, you must suffix with a small f or capital F. And next, if you want to treat something as a character, we must place it inside a single quote. Any single letter or digit or special character placed inside single quote is treated as a character. Every character is by default is treated as a character type. Single quote A, character type. Single quote hash is a character type. Single quote 1 is a character type. A is not a character. It is just a letter. Okay, I have typed alphabet, but I told you it's wrong. Okay, you must not pronounce it as alphabet. A is not alphabet, it is a letter. Alphabet means A to Z, 26 letters are called alphabet. Initially I have typed wrongly. No, but I didn't remove because I want to remind you. Okay, if I remove, maybe I'll also forget, so I just wanted to remind you, that's why I'm writing. Okay, generally in our India means non-English countries, non-English country, generally we call A is a alphabet, B is a alphabet, C is a alphabet, A to Z 26 are alphabets we will call. That is wrong. A to Z are letters. Okay, if you want to pronounce plural, we should use the letters. If you want a singular, alphabet, that's it. Alphabet itself is a plural. And next, in Java we have a special data type called Boolean to represent condition value true and false. Like in C, in Java we cannot use 0 as a false, 1 as a true. Java compiler will throw error. We must use false as false, true as a true. Boolean bo1 equal to true, Boolean bo2 equal to false, right? If true, if you false, right? If you write 1 as a true, 0 as a false, compiler throw error. Already we tested all these points. And next, if you want to treat some value as a string type, you must place that value inside double quote. Any 0 or multiple characters placed in a double quotes will be treated as a string. In Java, every string is treated as a java.lang string type. In Java, string is a reference data type, it is a class type. Okay, empty double quotes allowed, space double quotes, okay, allowed. And next, A1, hurry, everything is allowed. Are you catching my point? So all these points we already learned in a data type chapter. That's why I'm not going to talk much about them. Just I'm quickly revising. Next, every class will have dot class file after compilation. Very important. Every class will have dot class file after compilation. This dot class file name, it means class name dot class is a literal in Java program. It means class name dot class is treated as a java.lang class type. For example, if I write string dot class, it is a what type? Java.lang class type. Integer.class, Java.lang class type. Student.class, it is a Java.lang class type. Employee.class, it is a Java.lang class type. Dot like that. You can write anything. You can even write int.class also. Okay, int.class. Int is a primitive data type. It is also data type. Dot class you can write. You can add dot class to any data type, either primitive data type or reference data type or array data type. Int square bracket dot class is also allowed. In Java, to any primitive data type, you can add a dot class, except null, because null is not a object. Null is not a data type. Are you catching my point? Null is not a data type, it is a value. So to the value, dot class not allowed. To the data type, dot class is allowed. Are you catching my point? 10 dot class wrong, null dot class wrong. Okay, right. Then next, what is null? Tell me what is null. Up to now, you take any literal, any of these 5 literals you take, integer, floating point, character, boolean, string and class, they have a type. Then tell me, what is null? Is null a, a value, right? It is a null is a value, a literal. But what is its type? First of all, I want to ask one question. What is a null? Okay, interesting question is there. Okay, I already prepared a video and there in the YouTube, you can watch later. Okay, you can type null and null pointer exception by Hare Krishna. You can find a small video I have given. You can search later. Tell me, what is a null? Is a null a class? What is a null? Is null an object? What is null? Is null a what do you call a keyword? A keyword. What is null? Is it a what do you call a literal? What is null? A null is a literal. What is a null? Is it a reserved word? What is null? Is it a reserved word? Come on, you know. What is a null? Null is a literal, null is a reserved word. It is not keyword, it is not object, it is not class. So a null is a literal or reserved word. Okay, right. So now, can I, why I'm talking about null is a reserved word? Can I use null as an identifier? Can I create a variable with the name null? No, compiler will throw error. So what is null? Null is a literal. Every literal should have a type. Then what is the type of null? Null doesn't have any specific type. Null is any referenced data type. It doesn't have any specific type. Okay, now look at that. Null is a literal of any reference type. It means it doesn't have any specific type. Null is any referenced type. Literal means it may be of array type or class type, interface type, enum type, annotation type. It means we can store the literal null in any type of referenced variable. For example, in program, I just type null. Tell me, can compiler understand null is of what type? Null is of any specific type? No. Compiler cannot understand null is of what type. It has to do some matching and then taking decision. How it is doing matching and taking decision, I will tell you. Look at that down. string s equal to null I have written. Then tell me, compiler now matching null assigned to whom now? String. Then here compiler consider null is of type string. A null assigned to integer class variable, integer type. Null is assigned to our own class student type, student variable. Null is assigned to int array type, int array variable type. A null is assigned to employee array type. They catch my point? Null doesn't have any specific type. Null is having what type? Any referenced type. Because null is of any reference type, if we just write null, compiler cannot take decision it is of which type. So you have to specify type to null explicitly. For specifying type to null explicitly, you have to use either assignment operator or cast operator. Anything you can use. Simple baba, 10 is of what type? Int. But I want to treat 10 as what? Byte. Then what you writing? Either by using assignment operator or by using cast operator, you are converting like that. If I write null, null is of what type? Any referenced data type. But I want to make it specific type. What I should do? You have to assignment operator you should use, or you have to use cast operator. Any reference data types you can use. Tell me, can I assign int a equal to null? No, compiler throw error, because int is a primitive data type. You cannot assign null to primitive data type variable. Okay, this is the basic idea about null. Now look at their complete chart, what I have explained up to now. No confusion. Why I put int and double in circle? Because they are the default data types among 4 integer data types and 2 floating point data types. Okay, I will give you set of what do you call literals. Can you please identify what their type? Identify literal type in the below list. Come on, identify. 50 what type? Int. 50l long, 50f float, 50d double, char of 50 char, byte of 50 byte, short of 50 short, boolean of 50 boolean. Hey, no, compiler throw error. You cannot convert boolean to, I mean, you cannot convert literal to boolean. They are you cannot convert it into boolean because they are incompatible, right? And then int long float double char byte short, compile time error. Okay, now I'm giving a big list of identify. I mean, big list of literals. You need to identify which is right, which is wrong. Go through once, find out. First one, right? 10, right. Which type? Int. 10.345, right. Double. 53.67f, right. Float. 2345l, right. Long. 3.45d, right. Double. 45d, right. Double. 20b, wrong. 44s, wrong. Okay, single quote a char, a wrong, single quote hash char, right, single quote 1 char, right, single quote 10 wrong. In a single character, in a single quote only one character allowed. Empty single quote wrong, empty double quote right, double quotes abc, double quotes 10, double quotes 1, double quotes a, right. High wrong, because you must place a character, multiple characters or word inside double quote. True right, false right, flaws wrong, be careful. Spelling also you must carefully verify. Flaws wrong. TURE, true, TRUE is right, TURE wrong, capital TRUE wrong. Okay, Java case sensitive. Next, null, right, capital NULL wrong, capital NULL wrong, double quotes NULL, right. It is of null string, string, java.lang.string type. Next, double quotes NULL, right. It is java.lang.string literal. String wrong, string dot class, right, student dot class, right, int dot class, right, int array dot class, right, student array dot class, right, null dot class wrong, even dot class wrong, because dot class syntax you can use only with class name, nothing but data type, either class name or primitive type or array. Even is not data type name, even is a variable name, so compiler will throw error. Can you hope all the people are comfortable? Shall we move to the next point? Look at here. Can I use literal directly? Already we tested. Can we use literal directly as a single program? No. Compiler throw error. Not a statement. Can I use a literal with a semicolon? It is throwing semicolon required, so I added semicolon. Compiler throw error. Can I use a 10 equal to 10? What the meaning of it? 10? Can you assign to 10? No. Can you store 10 inside a 10? Means can I store literal in a literal? No. Literal is allowed assignment operator right side, but not allowed to left side. Okay, unexpected type left side variable required found value. Okay, then where literal is allowed? Literal is allowed either in variable assignment. What the use of literal? Literal used for variable assignment, or in condition validation purpose, or in calculation to generate result, or to pass as an argument, or just directly to print by using println. Here also you are passing as an argument, or meant for returning value from a method. Already informed all these points. Okay, individually, literal individually you cannot use. If you try to use compiler throw error, now it is executed successfully. I have to take it as class test compile execute 10. Okay, next. Now observe. Literal type checking already I have explained. I don't want again continue. How can we find a literal default type? Assign a literal to incompatible variable, or pass it as pass literal as an argument to a overloaded method. Already we have verified all these points. Okay, I'm not going to talk once again. Look at here. Here I want you test these points. Okay, we didn't verify. Yeah, I want to verify class type m1 of string dot class. Look at here. I want right here boolean bo equal to string dot class. When you write, compiler software clearly telling that incompatible types. Look at that, class cannot be converted to boolean. So this is a literal of what type? Class. Okay, then now you can pass as an argument to a method. Now look at there, which parameter method is executed? Class parameter. Look at there, I have overloaded method with all data types. Class parameter method is executed. Let me comment one by one so that you will get clarity. Compile string dot class, correct, string parameter, class parameter method executed. And next I'm giving integer dot class parameter method only executed. I'm giving int dot class, that is also valid. What is executed? Class parameter method executed, because it's of type class. Dot class syntax is class type. Then now int array class parameter, string array dot class also what is executed? Class parameter. Everyone understand? Fine. Tell me, if I pass null as an argument, which parameter method executed? If I pass null as an argument, which parameter method executed? Null means what? Any reference data type. Then compiler searching for m1 of any reference data type. Go down and verify m1 of byte, short, int, long, float, double char, boolean. String is matched, class is also matched, char array is also matched. So no, three parameters are matched. Compiler cannot take any decision. It is throwing error, ambiguous error. Reference to m1 is ambiguous. If you pass null as an argument to a method, if the passed value is null is matched with different referenced data types methods, then compiler will throw error. Reference to m1 is ambiguous. Both the class and char array are matched. Then what should I do now? I have to specify type to null explicitly. How can I specify? By using assignment operator or by using cast operator? I am trying to use a cast operator. Tell me now. Null is a what type? String. Only string parameter method executed. Compile and executed. Look at that. String parameter method executed. Next, if I give as a class type, which parameter method executed? Class parameter method is executed. If I give char array type, which parameter method executed? Char array parameter method is executed. Okay, got clarity? Yeah? Did you see the difference? Here string, integer, int array, string array, all are class types. They are not string type, they are not integer type, they are not int type. These are all class type. But whereas when you convert null as a string type, string, null as a class, null as a char array type. So these are the 2 points we have not discussed earlier in data type. So just I given clarity. Now I'm introducing some dangerous concept. Are you ready? Printing. Okay, printing concept is very important. Tell me, sir, if I pass a println of 10, what is the output will be displayed on the console? Come on, guess fast. Chaka, need to answer. If I display 10, what is displayed in the console? 10 is displayed, right? Obviously, right? Wonderful answer. Come on, what is displayed in the console? 10 will be displayed. There is a horrible point, sir. Point is looking like simple only, but very horrible point is there. Very confusion point is there. If you get clarity on these points, let me remove all so that I can play with your mind. I can torture you. I can confuse you. Okay. Tell me, if you pass 10 as an argument to println method, what is displayed in the console? 10 will be displayed on the console. Oh, wonderful. If we pass 10l as the argument to a method, println, what is displayed? 10l will be displayed on the console. Wow, super, marvelous. Okay, 10 will be displayed, not 10l, sorry. If you pass 10 as a byte type, what is displayed? 10 only displayed, but what type as a byte? Next, if you pass a short, what will be displayed? 10 only displayed, but as a short type. Ripuchi, I have a question, try to think and tell me. When you pass the values as an argument to println, then single println, how it is accepting into, long, byte, char? If you take our M1 method, we also have multiple M1 methods, but single M1 method there? No, we have separate M1 method for each parameter, means overloaded M1 method. Like that, println also is it a overloaded method? Come on, guess. Is a println also a overloaded method? Yes or no? Println is also a overloaded method. How many overload forms are there? How many overload forms are there? How can I know? Java p command. Java p, java dot io dot. All print methods are available in the class called what? Print stream, which is available in io package. Java dot io dot print stream. Look at there. So if you go up, now look at there. Println. Look at that from here start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 overloaded methods are there. Okay, 10 overloaded methods are there. Then tell me, if we call M1 of 10, which method is executed? Which is int parameter method. 10l, long parameter method. Byte of 10, byte parameter is not there. Then matching is what? Int parameter method executed. Short of 10, matching is what? Int parameter method executed. Everyone understand? Based on the passed argument, the respective println methods are background executing. It is not single println method. It is a 10 overloaded forms are there. Remember. Then next, tell me. I am moving to the next one. Very important, sir. Initially, all are small points are there, but at end torture points are there. 10.0. Next, the float println method is executed. Float 10.0 will be displayed. Next, Boolean println method is Boolean println parameter method executed. Then what happened? True is displayed. Next, false. Boolean println method is executed. What answer coming? False will be coming output. Okay. Tell me now. Flash. Do you have flash? No. Do you have a flash? No. Compiler will throw error. What is the flash? Variable. Compiler considers as a variable. Right. Next. Now I am commenting. I am giving TURE. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Compiler throw error. Okay. It's not a literal. Next, capital TURE I am giving. Allowed? not allowed. Compiler throw error, right? These are all not understandable to compiler. These consider as a variables. If you do any mistake in the literals words, okay, compiler consider as a variable and throw error. Why I have given these things? Quite often your eyes will not particularly look at the middle characters, middle letters. If I give one word, 5 letters or 6 letters, one word, your eye will see first character and last character. Middle characters, it will not match. Next, if you give some 6 to 7, 7 to 8 letters of word, first to 4 letters only it will see, last letters it will not match. If at all it is a new word to your mind, then it will read each character. If already that word there in your mind, it will not do the complete matching. It will only see first character, last character, or okay, first 3 4 characters it will see, and matching, searching for your word in the mind and bringing the bringing the pronunciation. Are you catching my point? So this is the where enter you are taking the your mind mapping clue, and then now giving the wrong things, wrong letters, but your mind cannot catch in the hurry. Be careful, every letter you pronounce properly. Okay, fine. Then tell me, single quote A, is it allowed? Yes, allowed. Already you answered. Okay, next, single quote 1 allowed? Allowed. Okay, and next, below, let me write single quote at the rate allowed? Allowed, no problem. Single quote 10, not allowed. Compiler throw error. Why? Because in single quote only one letter is allowed. Tell me, single quote AB allowed? Not allowed, because in a single quote only one letter is allowed. And next, empty single quote allowed? Not allowed. Compiler throw error. Empty char literal. Okay, next, empty single quote allowed? No. Space single quote allowed? Yes. Space single quote, empty single quote, both are different. Okay, next, can I place 2 spaces? No. Multiple characters are not allowed. Compiler throw error. Am I going fast? Am I going fast? All you answered, na? Just whatever you have answered here, whatever you have answered, just I am showing there with the println. That's it. Okay. Then next, tell me. I wanted to know double quotes. This is double quotes. Tell me, allowed or not allowed? Allowed. It is a empty string. Allowed. Is anything displayed in the console? No. Look at there. Hi before nothing is there. It's a empty string. Next, tell me, is a space string allowed? Allowed. Now, why I'm displaying hi? To see the space. Look at the space hi is coming. Next, double quotes A, double quotes 1, double quotes AB, double quotes 10, double quotes ABC 1 2 3 at the rate BBC. Everything all are allowed. No problem. Compiled successfully. Executed, output coming. And tell me, just A, is it allowed? No. Compiler consider as a variable name. Compiler throw error. Single letter without single quote consider as a variable name. And tell me, multiple letters without double quotes is considered also variable name high. Now I am placing int a equal to 5, SOPLN A. Any error? No. Compiler consider A as a variable. Int a equal to 5. 5 will be displayed on the console. A displayed or 5 displayed? 5 displayed. Sorry, if you want display A, what to do? You must write in a single quote. Okay? You must write in single quote. Now it is consider A displayed. Or you must write in double quotes. Okay? Then A will be displayed. No sir, I want to consider A as a variable. Then write A directly without single quote, double quote. A variable, compiler searching, found, and then displaying its value 5 on the console. Is it clear? All these are bacha concepts. Already we discussed in the earlier topics. That's why I'm going little fast. Don't cry. Can I write like this? String high. Variable name can be high? Yes. Compile successfully. Executed successfully. Can I display high? Yes. As a variable. If I pass without single quote, double quote is considered as a variable name. Compile successfully. What is output display in the console? Hello. In place of hello, can I write high itself? String high equal to high. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Then any confusion? No. What is output? High is displayed. Hello. Hello. High is displayed in the console. Variable name or value of the variable? High display in the console. Is it a value or variable? What is displaying? It is a variable name or variable value? It is a variable value, not variable name. Variable name is high. Its value is also high. That's why high is displaying. Don't show your talent. Now if you write hello, hello will be displayed. Sometimes confusion will come. Be careful. Then next. Now here onwards, torture. 5 is displayed. 5 only. As what 5? Println of int parameter. println of char parameter, println of string parameter, 5 only displayed, but there are types you must be very carefully answer. Here onwards, very interesting point. Tell me, if I write a dot class, what is displayed? This is the new point. Up to now, in above cases, whatever you display, that only coming. 5 displayed, single quote 5 displayed, double quotes 5 displayed. If I write a dot class, what is displayed? A dot class is displaying a. If I write a dot class, is a dot class is displaying a. Come on. In the previous bit also, we discussed literal type checking from where class type literal to, where is that? Class type literal to null we discussed. Here also printing also, all these are we know. Daily we are discussing. Now this topic is little tough. So I'm going slow. Now I'm making it slow. A dot class, what is displayed? Bolo? Control 1, compile. Control 2. Guess. What is displayed? A dot class? No, reverse. Class A is displayed. Wow. What is displayed? Class A is displayed. Oh, wonderful reverse. Excellent. Super marvelous. Until me, come on. If I write now B dot class, what is displayed? Come on. If I write B dot class, what is displayed? Reverse. Class B is displayed. Wow. Super. Excellent. Marvelous. Okay. What a wonderful idea you have. Interface Bina. Oh, class after class interface. Acha. Okay. Then tell me. E dot class. What is displayed? Class interface. Next. Excellent. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, marvelous. Enam. What a guess. Marvelous guess. Wonderful. Hey, class ina. Amma. Why? How class is coming? Sorry. Okay, let me take ANN dot class. What is coming? ANN dot class. ANN dot class. What will come? Come on, guess. ANN means what? Annotation. Hey, interface. What is this nonsense? Once upon a time, long ago, in a data type chapter, last week Friday, right? Once upon a long ago, correct? 2 days completed, and oh my God, your mind will be everything forgot. Fresh brain, Kajini brain, right? Long ago on Friday, we discussed one point. What is that? A1 equal to new A. If you write system.out.println A1, what is displayed in the console? Class name @ hash code in hexa string format. I told you, na? If you display long array, LA equal to, or let me take int array. Int array IA equal to flower bracket 5, 6. If you display IA, what is displayed? Any of you remember? Bracket I, square bracket I @ right. Next, if I write string S1 equal to double quotes Hari, double quotes. I hope you forgot or remember? System.out.println. If you display S1, what is displaying? What is displayed? Hari itself is displayed. And tell me, here Hari is what? Literal? No, it is a literal, but background it is an object. In S1 Hari stored? No. In S1 reference of the object stored. What the memory diagram? A1 created, object 1010 stored in A1, pointing A2 IA variable created, integer array object is created, 2020 stored and pointing. Next, S1 variable also what is displayed? 30 stored in S1 and now pointing. All are reference variables. Referenced variables must contain what? Reference of the object. Then when you display, what display? Class name @ hash code. But come to the string, what is displayed background? Data of the object is displayed. That is the speciality. This background work is done by whom? Compiler JVM. Not compiler. Not compiler JVM. This background work is done by Sun Microsystems. Okay, in a println method. Okay, that background work has done. So in a string class, actually, in a string class, the background work has done to display what data of the object. In our class A, in integer array class, the background work has not done. That's why we are getting class name at the rate hash code. I'm repeating once again. In our class and in a integer array class, background the displaying mechanism logic has not written. That's why only class name at the rate hash code is displaying. In a string class, they have done some additional code written in the string class to display data of the s1 pointing object. If you also write the code like in string, if you also write code in your class A like in string, and now your data of the object will be displayed on the console. So how to display, that is coming classes I'll explain, not current topic. Like a string class, again repeating, like a string class, in a dot class, I told you a dot class means what class object? Class object, right? This class object, inside this class object also some logic is developed to display class A interface A. Sir, how that class A interface A they're finding? Array based on the how you created here. I have created class A as a class. I have created B as a interface. I have created E as a enum. I have created ANN as a annotation. I myself created. So background class object is created by using its types. Class, interface, everything. Then sir, when enum, why enum is not coming? I told you na, enum is background, a class. Annotation is background and interface. Everyone got clarity? Yeah? Background compiler software convert enum to class and annotation to interface, right? So then now tell me what is coming here? Whenever you display class object, what is it displayed? Type of that class and the class name. B dot class, B is of type interface dot class. E is of type enum, background is a class E. Annotation is background is interface, that's why interface ANN. Tell me now, P dot class, what is displayed? Chalo fast. P dot class, what is displayed? P dot class, what is displayed? Class P displayed. Wonderful, super, marvelous. Compiler will throw error. Array Tumri fellow, where did you create class array? Did you create class P? Compiler throwing error. Array Tumri fellow, you are asking me to go and search for P dot class. I should find the dot class and first you have to create class P and then dot class. P dot class file must be available in the hard disk. Na? Compiler didn't find the dot class file, so it is throwing error. So tell me, whenever you take dot class syntax, before dot with that name, there should be a dot class file. Everyone understand? I have not created any class with the name P. That's why compiler throwing error. This is a very important rule. I hope all people understood. Remember, practice. And tell me, string dot class. Well, any compile time error or no compile time error? No compile time error. Predefined class there. String is a predefined class. No error. Compile successfully. What will you display? String is a class type. So Java class, java.lang.class is a fully qualified name. Next, now, next, runnable dot class. Runnable is a interface. So back predefined interface. So what is displayed now? Interface java.lang.runnable. Next, enum thread dot state. Thread is a class. Inside state is a enum. Enum dot class. Okay, background what is coming? Class. Class thread dollar state, java.lang.thread dollar state, inner class will be coming as a dollar. Next, now override dot class. Override is a annotation. All the people know at the rate override is annotation. So it is displaying as interface java.lang.override. Can I hope all the people understand dot class syntax? Now I want you to answer one question. For a dot class syntax, which println method executed, Bujji? For int executed, boolean, char, long, float, double, string. Bolo. For println method should execute for class syntax, na? Which one is matched? super class of all classes object. So for if you pass a dot class syntax literal as argument to println method, background which is executed, java.lang.object class construct, java.lang.object class parameter println method is executed. Remember it, it's very important. Up to now, okay? Can you hope all you people are comfortable? Shall I move to the next point? Tell me, int dot class valid syntax? Yes, int is a data type, allowed. Double dot class valid, bolo, compile successfully, but what compiler will display, what the output will be displayed on the console? All these are classes and interfaces, but int is a class? No. Is int a interface? No. Int is a primitive data type. Then what is displayed? Just int displayed. Compile, execute, just into double displayed. Some people are telling that Java is a 100% object oriented programming language. Because of primitive data type, entire world is telling that Java is not a 100% primitive data type. But some faculties are arguing, look at their dot class syntax is allowed. Dot class syntax is allowed only for class names. Int is a class implicitly. If int is a class implicitly, why class int not coming? Okay, na? This is what my argument. Okay, implicitly dot class syntax is allowed for data type dot class to represent it is a type. Types are represented, data types are represented by java.lang.class. That's why into dot class primitive data type class came. Class is dot class syntax is not allowed only for class. Are you catching my point? Dot class syntax is not only allowed for classes, it is also allowed for a primitive data type, because the reason dot class syntax is representing java.lang.class object. Java.lang.class is meant for representing all data types of Java, primitive and reference data types, everything represented by java.lang.class. People are not having that idea, that's why they are going to tell it is a class background. It is not a class background. It is a primitive data type only, it is not class. Is it clear to all? If anybody say that dot class syntax is allowed, so it is a class background, if say, then you should not accept. You should say that, Are bhaiya, dot class syntax means it is a java.lang.string class. Primitive data types also represented by primitive data types also in JVM software represented by java.lang.class only. That's why dot class syntax allowed to data type. Okay, na? Right. So double dot class. Tell me why dot class syntax is allowed to double? Because it's a data type. Because data type dot class syntax is allowed. Okay. In JVM, below in JVM, fill the statement. In JVM, every data type is represented by java.lang.class. The java.lang.class syntax is dot class syntax. And at Spring level, Hibernate level, some faculties will also say that class is a static variable in every class. Dot class is a static variable in every class, because dot, you are writing class name dot class. Hey, that is Eclipse. Eclipse is showing the dot class as a static variable. But in our dot class file, you don't see dot class syntax. People are following Eclipse. Some faculties follows Eclipse terminology. Some faculties will follow edit plus terminology. But nobody follows Sun Microsystem given documents. I don't know in Sun Microsystem documents there are not, but according to Eclipse, it is a static variable. But tell me, int is not a class, then how the dot class is a static variable? Double is not a class, how dot class is a static variable? Do you understand my argument? Go and ask them. In future, if any faculty is telling that dot class is a static variable available in every class implicitly, ask them to show in Java p command in bytecode, Java p space Java dot lang dot string. Okay, Java dot lang dot string. Go home, find class. That is the declaration keyword class. Look at there, find next, find next, find next. I am not seeing anywhere. Look at, there are so many static variables are there. Like this, static variable must be there. That is Eclipse for a typing purpose, implicitly it is providing, okay? Eclipse pop-up window will show you for our easy typing purpose. Are you catching my point? Am I talking more depth here? Am I confusing you because you are not aware of all these points?